This week in East Brunswick, Shirley visits Farrells ice cream store at the Brunswick Square Mall. Mary Tenascio of the Township's Consumer Department gives some tips on shopping for eyeglasses. And we'll see some action from this week's Township Council meeting. But first, on Monday night, the municipal building lobby was the scene for the unveiling of the Community Honor Roll, with its newest member, Grace Auer, in attendance. Township officials, friends and family of Mrs. Auer, gathered to wish her well and to thank her for her many years of service to the community. Mrs. Auer, who was born Grace Smith, has lived in East Brunswick all of her life and has been and is an active member of many local groups and organizations. Almost too many to name or to fit on the framed proclamation. Mayor Fox opened the ceremonies.
There isn't much that I can say about Grace. It's not said in the proclamation, which we're going to read shortly, except to say that Grace Auer has been involved in most of the good things that have happened in East Brunswick over the years, and it gives me and all of us great pleasure to honor her tonight by adding her name to the Community Honor Roll. And with that, I'd like to ask Jerry Weber to assist me in unveiling the proclamation, and after that's read, we'll go out into the foyer and unveil the Community Honor Roll with Grace's name on it. Grace, why don't you write out here? Now, John Runyon, Grace, pointed out to me that there's so much on this proclamation that the calligrapher had to write very small, and I'd never read it from there, so he gave me a copy of the resolution to read. Whereas Grace M. Auer was born in the Township of East Brunswick and as a lifelong resident of the community has served her fellow citizens in many public and civic roles. And whereas she was a charter member and three-time president of the East Brunswick Women's Club, as well as president and vice president of the 4th District Past President's Club, New Jersey Federation of Women's Clubs. And whereas she has been a member of the East Brunswick Local Assistance Board for over 15 years, the chairperson of the East Brunswick Bicentennial Celebration, and whereas she is a charter member and has been a 4-time president, as well as treasurer and corresponding secretary of the East Brunswick Historical Society, and whereas Grace M. Auer is a charter member of the East Brunswick Museum Corporation, having served as its membership chairman and corresponding secretary since it was founded. And whereas Grace M. Auer is a charter member of the East Brunswick League of Women Voters, serving in numerous capacities in that organization. And whereas she is a charter member of the East Brunswick Friends of the Library, the Alice DeVoe Memorial Library Association, and East Jersey Old Town Restoration, as well as a Gold Star member of the East Brunswick Grange number 151 P of H. And whereas she has been the only woman trustee of the Middlesex County Fair Association for over 30 years, having served as one of the founders of the Middlesex County Fair. And whereas she has served as president and in other offices of Linnaeus Garden Club. And whereas among her other achievements are membership in the New Jersey Safety Council, co-chairman of the First Joint Hospital Appeal in East Brunswick, chairman of the East Brunswick Division of the United Fund, as well as participation in the March of Dimes and other fundraising events. And whereas she served as president of the East Brunswick Democratic Women's Club for 2 terms, as well as vice chairman of the Middlesex County Democratic Club. And whereas, because of all this and her many other contributions to the community, Mrs. Auer has received numerous honors, including her current service as honorary colonel of the 2nd Regiment of the Middlesex County Militia, and inclusion in the World's Who's Who of Women 1977. And whereas the many other specific contributions of Grace M. Auer to the community and to individual residents are too numerous to mention, now therefore be it resolved that the name of Grace M. Auer shall be placed upon the Community Honor Roll of the Township of East Brunswick, and for all time be thus recognized as one of the most outstanding people in the history of our community.
Thank you. That's Mayor Fox, John Runyon, members of the Township Council, clergy, my family and friends, I accept this honor with humility and appreciation. My work for our community has been a joy, and by working with so many groups, I've learned to know many people that I would have never known in East Brunswick, and many of them are my very best friends today. I thank you, and God bless you all.
Hi, Shirley for This Week in East Brunswick. Welcome to my restaurant guide. We're standing outside of Farrells restaurant, which is located at the Brunswick Square Mall in East Brunswick. We will be stepping inside to talk with the manager, Bill Needell. I'm sure everyone in this area has been to Farrells at least once. Bill, can you tell me a little bit about the history of Farrells?
Farrells opened almost 20 years ago in September out on the west coast in Oregon, and today we have almost 100 stores through 25 states.
I noticed on the way out of the restaurant you have a candy store as well. Was this part of the original idea of the restaurant?
Yes, most Farrells do have the candy sections. They were introduced to help add to the old-time mystique.
Bill, you told me earlier that Farrells just recently changed its image. What type of an image change has it gone through? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Recently, Farrells did a market survey throughout the country, finding out what our customers were really interested in. And what we found out is they enjoyed a more quiet atmosphere without the noise and the drum and the siren. And they also were interested in a more quality-oriented food menu.
So what will be added or changed on the menu?
We've upgraded the menu to include 2 steaks, a New York strip steak and a sirloin steak sandwich. We've also begun using fresh meat for all our hamburgers, which are 1/3 of a pound.
So what is the most popular hamburger on your menu?
Well, I think our bacon cheeseburger is the most popular. That, again, is a 1/3 pound hamburger with Swiss cheese and 4 strips of bacon.
Bill, I also noticed you have dinner entrees on your menu. Maybe you can talk to me a little bit about those.
Besides the New York strip steak that I talked about before, we have 3 entrees, chicken, fish, and an all-beef steak dinner, all for $3.95, which comes with our new old-fashioned French fries and salad bar.
So I see Farrells still features their 4 different varieties of birthday parties.
That's right, and we do specialize in children's parties. And of course, we do have all the other ice cream fantasies that people have been coming to Farrells for years.
Thank you, Amy. Amy's been with Farrells for 8 years, and we'd like to thank Bill Needell and Farrells Restaurants. And I'm Shirley for This Week in East Brunswick. And until next time, good dining.
Hello, I'm Mary Tenaccio, and welcome once again to Consumer Aware. Today our consumer tip is regarding eyeglasses and eye care. Over 50% of all Americans wear eyeglasses or contact lenses. Until recently, consumers were not able to shop and comparison shop for inexpensive quality eyewear. Now, the rules and laws are in your corner. You can now comparison shop. Whoever examines your eyes must give you your prescription so that you can shop for price and for quality. You do not have to pay any additional cost for your prescription. And keep that in mind because people have been experiencing problems in this area. Remember, you do not have to pay for that prescription. That is yours. When you shop for eye care, think very carefully about the doctor, the quality of eyewear that you want, and the service that will go along with this eyewear, what the return policy is, if they guarantee your glasses or contact lenses, and what they are willing to do for you. Know the difference of eye care specialists. You have your ophthalmologist. They are doctors. They can prescribe drugs. They can perform eye surgery. You have your optometrist. They are trained in detecting eye diseases, and they can examine eyes and prescribe and sell eyewear. Remember, the law is on your side when you shop for eyewear. It's your responsibility to research it and to know your rights. Shop not only for money, but shop for your eyes also. That's the end of our program today. If you have any questions regarding this or any other problems you might be experiencing, please call the Consumer Affairs Office. It's opened every day in the municipal building from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll be glad to help you with anything that you need. Bye-bye for now, and see you again next week.
At this week's council meeting, the township was given an award by the New Jersey Commission on Recreation for the Handicapped. The award was presented by Municipal Clerk Betty Kiss.
On behalf of the New Jersey Commission on Recreation for the Handicapped, and I, as a member representing Ben Schaefer, who is the chairman, who could not be here this evening, and asked me to pass this on. It is my great pleasure to make this presentation to Camp Daisy. I'd like to read what was read at the governor's conference, which explains a little bit about the award so that everyone here has a clearer understanding as to how the award was achieved. There are 2 service awards that are awarded each year, and the award is bestowed by the Commission upon an agency individual who has developed and implemented a comprehensive recreation services and programs for disabled populations, which serve as exemplary models for replicability by other service providers. The 1983 recipients, the Service Delivery Award in 1983 is presented to 2 agencies, the Daisy Therapeutic Recreation Program of East Brunswick and the Parks Department, and the Special Handicapped Adult Program of the Essex County Department of Parks and Recreation and Cultural Affairs.
Well, among other things, this is one of the nicer plaques that the township has ever received. And just in accepting this on behalf of the council and the administration, I want to say that the DAISY program, and particularly the way that it's grown and prospered over the years and become a model for other communities in our state, has been one of the more pleasurable programs that we've had. Most importantly, I think, because of the special people it serves, and serves them well. It wouldn't be a model if it wasn't serving the people it's intended to serve in an outstanding way. And that's what makes it so special. So thank you for all your good work and all the efforts that you've exerted on behalf of Daisy.
Later, a bonding ordinance providing supplemental funds of $115,000 for renovation and expansion of the municipal court was approved by a 4-to-1 margin. Also approved were bonds for capital equipment expenditures of over $260,000.